Capital, welcome back to another video. Now, I know a lot of you think that I am impenetrable to provocation.
Right, Big Petey. You all right? You really stuck him, Campbell. Yeah, I love me a little contact, Petey. Left side. Strong side. Left side. Strong side. Left side. Strong side. Left side. Strong side. Left side. Strong side.
And let me explain why I think that. Because in your Discord, you have said, and I quote, "I know some people may not like the guy from the videos, but in reality he actually conducts himself quite well." And another comment, "It's actually quite infuriating that Drew acts so professional. I've seen quite a few people try and provoke him and he just moves on." But that doesn't mean that I don't have emotions, because let's be real, Trav, the DeFi legend, the Oklahoma and Odessa, Texas drill king trading monster. And 0x, where have you been at in your own Discord? It's like you haven't talked in weeks. I don't know why. You used to talk all the time. Now you went silent. Now, Trav, you guys reached out to me personally and asked me for an AMA so that you could clear the air. Now, obviously this was before I came out with a lot of the other videos that I came out with, showing the numbers, showing all these different things about your project, your past projects and things of that sort. But be that as it is, you did reach out to me for an AMA and you've left me on red. You know how hurtful that is? You reach out to me, you engage me, I oblige the request gladly. And then you leave me on red? That's not very nice of you, Trav. You should probably get with me if you want that AMA. But now, I might feel so jaded that I might just not take it. And I even threw a last-ditch effort to get you guys to reply, to no avail. Hurtful, truly. Now, building on the previous video, what did Wolf Capital do? You know, the bait and switch that led to a 40% loss of funds that were quoted to be secured and withdrawable. How did that happen? Well, they took in a bunch of deposits worth about, $9 point some odd million. They immediately took 10% off of the top, so people that, got into the protocol immediately took a 10% hit. Then they said, hey, we're gonna give you 2%. Then they went back on that and said, nah, never mind, we're gonna give you 1.5%. Then a few weeks later, maybe a couple of months, they said, you know what? I think that might have been a little too much. We're gonna give you 0.8% with a cap of 1.1%, depending on how big your wolf pack is. Sounds like a real sustainable business model. But then as soon as they said 0.8 to 1.1%, what do? Shut off withdrawals, told you, actually, just kidding, you're not getting the 0.8% or the 1.1%, and we're gonna go to a variable return model. Then what happened? They literally stopped showing the screenshots. They stopped showing all of these different things that they used to be so transparent about. Odd. So in this video, we're going to talk about the discrepancy in their numbers. And I mean, we've gone back, maybe a month or two at least on this to show you exactly what this transparency apparently means to them. And then you can make your own inferences from there. But obviously, before we get into all of that, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Boom! Bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Now, let's go see what they've been hiding from you in the background under the guise of transparency. Now, in the previous videos, we've obviously showed that there's a 30 to 40% at least Ponzi gap, and Travis has been doing some terrible trading as of late. So I believe the gap probably would potentially be more. And let's touch on that just really quickly. 30% is the gap if you only take into account the amount of money that has been staked, right? But 40% is absolutely the gap based on the deposits, because you can't take just the staked balances and say, oh, that's all that counts. No, it's not, because people have deposited $9.3 million that they were hoping to get back eventually, and they weren't just depositing it to say, hey, you can hold it and then I'll take it back whenever. They wanted to make profits off of it. So you can't say, oh, the Ponzi gap's only 30%, because that's not what it is. So let's talk trades though. So you guys post the trades and you have a bot that posts the profits, the trades, etc. in the Discord and in a Telegram. Which channel is the one that's accurate though and actually shows the real trades, the real profits? Is it both of them, or is it the Discord, or is it the Telegram? Like, there's a lot of discrepancies in this, and that's exactly what we're about to get into. Because I actually have the actual numbers that Wolf Capital reported. So sometimes that transparency that you're touting as one of your strengths is what gives us the ability to prove what you are quoting, as opposed to what is actually happening in the background. is actually incorrect. Transparency. So, from May 22nd to May 29th, the Telegram showed no profits. The Discord also showed no profits. But we did get this bullish reported screenshot announcement from BitGet, and it's a screenshot inside of the Discord that's totally legit. It couldn't be faked. $410,000 in profit, which is an ROI of 12% on the week, right? 410,000 compared to the $3.4 million that they had in the portfolio. 12% for the week on what was traded. Not a bad start. We're gonna get into why I said on what was traded here in the next coming examples. But the balance after that was apparently 3.821 million. Now, starting on May 29th through June 5th, okay? Which surprisingly is the day that their audit got taken down by Crypto Prim, but we'll talk about that some other time. Telegram is still not showing any profits. Discord is still not showing any profits. But the bullish screenshot announcement from BitGet is $437,000 in profit. The profit percentage on that, 437,000 divided by 3.821 million, is 11.4% for the week. So yeah, really good, actually, pretty good. The previous balance was 3.821 mil, and the balance after these profits was $4,689,000. So the discrepancy on that balance compared to the profits that they brought in was $431,000 in the positive out of nowhere. Now, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. That was probably due to new deposits or compounding, or maybe Travis decided to just throw some of those rainy day funds into the actual revenue generation method that they were quoting instead of just paying those profits out, which we proved that they did to the tune of about 61% and millions of dollars, might I add, from other people's balances. So instead, he decided, you know what, I'm not gonna pay that $431,000 out that actually hasn't been profit and it's just other people's deposits. I'll put it into the trading account, which is what we said we were supposed to be doing for people the whole time. But cool, great, $431,000 extra dollars, woo! Now, June 5th through the 12th, the Telegram shows, again, only about $13,000 profit booked. And then the Discord shows only about $39,000. But the bullish announcement from the BitGet screenshot that was dropped inside of the Discord is $252,000, and the ROI on that is about 5.37%. $252,000 divided by 4.689 million. 5.37% for the week on what was traded. Now, this is where it gets a little hectic, okay? That's only 3.36% on the week for the entire staked amount of 7.5 million. So do the math, 252,000 divided by the 7.5 million that was staked is 3.36%. And then if you divide that by 7 days, that's less than 0.5% a day, which is only 1/3 of what they were quoting you that they were supposed to be making you every single day. So it's looking a lot like you brought them in and said, hey, we're gonna give you 2%, and then you dropped it down to 1.5%, and you promised the world to these people that then came in, locked their funds up for 60 days or however long, and now they're so far away from ROI due to this 30 to 40% Ponzi gap that they have to stay now, but you guys still made $1 million on the 10% that you took right off at the top, and now these people are almost, at this point, held hostage. And were brought in under the guise of, hey, you're gonna make 2%, 1.5%, 0.8%, but sorry guys, now you're making 0.5%. Sorry about that. And it gets worse, so pay attention. So the previous balance was 4.689 mil. The balance after these profits was 5.042 mil. So $114,000 in the positive out of nowhere. Probably again from deposits or compounds or whatever. Or maybe Trav decided, hey, we'll throw the real money into what we were actually supposed to be doing. Transparency. On June 12th through the 19th, Telegram reported $428,000 in profit. That's only including up to the 18th. If you add the 19th, it gets worse. Discord reported $112,000 in profit. Now, the bullish BitKit screenshot announcement, $102,000? So $326,000 less than what they reported in Telegram and $10,000 less than what was reported in Discord. Why is none of this agreeing with each other? That's odd, right? I think we can all agree on that, no matter how bullish or not bullish or wolfish you are on Wolf Capital. Now, the profit percentage on that was about 2% for the week, 102,000 divided by their $5.042 million balance. That's only 1.77% on the total staked balance of 7.5 mil though, and only 0.25% per day. Ruh-roh! Now, the previous balance was 5.042 mil, but the balance afterwards, after this $112,000 profit, was 4.925 mil. So the discrepancy was $219,000 in the negative when you add up the profits and then figure out what the balance should have been afterwards, but what the balance actually was. Weird. Now let's just assume that people claimed. We're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Absolutely. If we are one thing on this channel, it is fair. June 19th through the 26th. Now, in their AMA in this week, it mentions at the 5-minute mark, and you can go check this. This is in their Discord, in their Telegram. You can download this. I've downloaded it just in case they delete it. So if you want it, let me know. But their portfolio, what they're saying at the 5-minute mark, is $5.2 million. This is after they made the announcement, right? Almost a $5 million deficit from the deposits, okay? And then they reported $417,000 profit, and then they talk about how they are a Ponzi, but they don't want to be anymore. Then at 4:10, they actually start talking about the 20% Ponzi, which we definitely unequivocally proved was incorrect by a lot. Now, in that week, the Telegram profit added up is $480,000, and it's $460,000 if you don't include the 26th, okay? So give them the benefit of the doubt, all right? $480,000. Discord only said that they made $130,000, not including the 26th. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it's $149,000 by including the 26th. Now, the announcement on BitGet was $418,000. That was what their screenshot said. So $418,000 as opposed to what they reported in Discord of $149K, and then as opposed to what they reported inside of Telegram, which was $480K. So the profit on that, $418,000 divided by their balance in the trading account of 4.925 million is 8.5% for the week, okay? So, you know, about 1.2% per day, okay? Now, on the actual stakes, it's 5.5%. Now, you got to remember that there's $7.5 million staked. So even though they only have $5 million in the trading account, that doesn't matter. What's staked is what the percentages should be based off of, and it's kind of irresponsible that they're not basing it off of that, but you know, whatever, manipulation tactics, we all get it, psychology, right? Now, with that 5.5% on the week, it's only 0.79% daily, so how are you gonna pay out those people their 1%? Oh, easy, we're gonna turn off the ability for people to compound and take their money and unstake and bring more money into it, and then we're going to say variable, okay? So the previous balance was 4.925 mil. The balance after these trades was 5.243 mil. Now, the discrepancy from the previous balance was about $100,000 in the negative. Why is that? Because they had a bank run that we talked about in the previous video where their contract got drained 2 different times in the same day, thus losing a lot of investor confidence in the interim, which they've now fixed that. You know, so kudos to you, I guess, for fixing that after the fact, but you know, whatever. Now, June 26th through July 3rd, this is where things start to get a little juicy, okay? And I actually used the 27th through the 3rd since I included the 26th in the last one, right? The Telegram profit added up is $252,890, okay? Now, this is $196,000 minus their $56,000 screenshot, okay? But this is actually $80,000 higher than what they reported on BitGet, because I don't know if we should be counting their screenshots inside of the Telegram of their profits, but you know, whatever. Discord is $203,809, which is $33,000 higher than what BitGet reported, okay? Now, BitGet screenshot inside of the Discord, the bullish screenshot that everybody always loves, $170,000, as opposed to what was reported in the trading channels as $204,000 in Discord and $252,000 in Telegram. So why aren't these things congruent? Again, weird. Now, the profit on that 170K, if you divide it by their $5.173 million balance, and you can find these balances inside of their screenshots. Again, transparency, but that doesn't really help out in this because it allows people like me to just do simple math and figure all these things out. Now, the profit on that 170K is 3.9% for the week, but it's only 2.25% profit on the week on the total 7.5 million staked amounts, which is less than 1/3 of a percent daily, okay? When they're saying, oh, we're gonna pay you out 0.8, 1.1, 1.5, 2%, all this stuff, right? You see a trend, right, where it's starting to go down. Just pay attention. The previous balance, 5.243 million, okay? The balance afterwards was 5.173 million. So it's 70K in the negative when there was $170,000 in profits. That's a $240,000 discrepancy, but whatever. Now, one thing I did want to point out to you, do these trades and profits look oddly familiar, okay? Look at the screenshot. These are trades from different days and they have the exact same profits 2 times down to the cent. Just saying. July 4th through July 10th, I used the 4th through the 10th on this, right? The Telegram profit added up is $203,562, close to that. That is $61,000 higher than what BitGet and Discord reported. Now, in this week, there was these extra trades that they threw in with screenshots, which is why I'm like, do we count the screenshots, right? There was a 5K trade, 46K profit trade, 21.7K profit trade, and if you go into Discord and you add it up, it's 142K profits. But again, now they're not posting the screenshots anymore because they're not gonna report their profits on BitGet on a weekly basis for whatever reason now anymore. So let's go with the fact that $142,000 is what the profit was, okay? And we'll get into the reasons why we think that they're not posting those profits, the BitGet screenshots here in a little bit. But the profit of 142K divided by the balance of 5.173 million is 2.74% for the week, again, on what was being traded. Now, that comes out to 1.89% on the stakes of 7.5 mil for the week and only 0.25% daily when they were quoting 0.8%, 1.1%, 1.5%, 2%. See where I'm going with this? The previous balance was 5.173 mil. The balance after, we have no idea because they didn't report that, but we figure with $140,000 profit, it should be about 5.315 mil. So there you go. Now let's move on to the more close days. July 11th through July 16th, the Discord profit added up was $95,000, which is 1.8% profit on the week compared to the balance that they were trading. What they used to quote you that you would make in a day, around 1.5%, now takes them 7 times as long to make that same money on what's in the trading account. Now, what's even further troubling is that this is actually 1.3% on the stakes for the week. Less than what they used to quote you that you would make daily is what they're making in a week now. Okay? $95,000 divided by $7.5 million in stakes, okay? And the daily ROI on that is less than 0.2% when they were quoting 0.8% bare minimum and 1.1%. Wow. The announcement, the BitGet screenshot, no clue. They stopped posting those 2 weeks ago. The previous balance, what we think, because again, they stopped posting about this, 5.315 mil. The balance afterwards, again, not reported. Why would we report that? Transparency. And the discrepancy from the previous balance, again, we have absolutely no idea. And that brings us up to the present time because now we have started the week with a negative $124,000 in trading profits, or not profits, due to these staggeringly awesome trades that your bot, an expert trader, DeFi Trav, the Odessa, Texas, and the Oklahoma Drill King trading legend that took one long-term trade on oil and became an expert trader, took. Sweet. Now, you can see this from the screenshots, exactly what I'm talking about. July 17th, July 18th trades. Very good trades. Now, here are the trades over the past week or two. Dating back to the 14th of July, negative $84,208.49, negative $6,467.46, then negative $9,693.93. So that's like $100K down, just gone. poof. Then they finally had a good trade that made them $35,439.10 on July 15th, and then another 2 trades that made them respectively another $1,297.69, $1,242.55. Then they hit it out of the park with a $348.82 profit on a trade and a $476.07 profit trade. Then on the 16th, they knocked it out of the park yet again, just grand slam style, $589.52 in profit and $483.53 in profit. Wild. Then on the 17th, 2 more absolute bangers to the tune of $886.39 in profit and $1,332.53 in profit, which if you add all those up, don't even account for the 3 trades that lost them $100,000, but you know, whatever, that's fine. Then on the same day, they lost another $69,687.23 on a negative 36.34% trade. That means they lost 36.34% of what they had on that trade. And by the way, those previous trades where they lost like $100,000 through the $84,000, the $9,600 loss and all those were anywhere from 42% negative to 53% negative trades. So if you lost 84%, and that was a negative 42% trade, that means that you basically put like close to 150K on it and lost $84,000, almost half of it. That's wild, man. Now, then on the 17th, they tried to make some money back and they ended up getting back about $26,163 by the end of the day. Then July 18th came and they lost another $18,151.38 on a 23% negative trade, and another $50,766.45 lost on a 45% negative trade. That means they took like $100,000, $110,000 trade and lost almost 51 grand on it. And then $46,103.50 lost on a 35% trade, which means they took like $150,000 trade and lost 46 grand on that trade. That's not good risk management. Great job, honestly. So if you keep up with this streak, I think I'm going to start my own trading bot and sell it for like 20 bucks a month to whoever wants to do it and call it the inverse Wolf Capital Trav. Kind of like how they have like the inverse S&P and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to do the inverse Wolf Capital Trav. It'll take trades that do the opposite of what you do. Let me know if that's interesting to you guys so you don't get too terribly wrecked. You can hedge your bets. Now, I don't want to make too much light of this because what's happening, it sucks and they are losing people's money. But this is what happens whenever you put people in business that talk in discords like this.
Yeah, with that stuff, that's always going to be said, right? Like,
it doesn't matter what, dude.
Right.
I can even put it on a blockchain. It wouldn't matter. Like, if you're saying it's fake, just shut the up, dude. I'm sick and tired of it. Like, seriously, I will just anymore. You're banned. You're gone. Don't worry. Okay, there you go.
And you let them take hold of your money and then trade it with no real like reasoning and bias behind it to say, yeah, here's my results for like the past year, for like the past 2 years, for even the past couple of months, right? And a lot of people were trying to come to their defense, saying that market structure and dynamics have changed after the XRP announcement. Spoiler alert. They did not, okay? Markets trade in ranges. When supports and resistances are broken, there's a previous or a new range that is established, and any real trader knows that. So that's not an excuse, okay? And I know that because I'm trading the exact ranges and the exact assets that they are, with the only caveat that I'm actually profitable. And I have absolutely zero qualms showing everybody my past month's worth of trades, if you don't believe me, that totally beat all of theirs. All right, so let's go ahead and start this timer. That way people can't say that it's, you know, fake or whatever. You can literally watch this timer go the entire way. We are in KuCoin. Who's that? Oh, that looks like my face. Okay. All right. There's the refresh, just in case anybody wants to try to get slick and say, oh, you doctored this. Okay, we went from about 26K all the way up to 29K in the past 7 days. And that's including yesterday. As you can see, the futures balance is about 29,166. I started this account with about 4 grand a few months back. And I already know what people are going to say after I do this. We've got the 30-day is from about 12,100 up to 29,000 whatever today, right? 28.8, but we've already made, $300 or something like that today. So I already know what people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, you deposited or whatever to bring your portfolio balance up. All right, so let's go to the deposit and withdraw history on this, right? Okay, so this is my deposit history. Let's do 1 month. Okay, let's do 3 months, which would clearly cover all of that. All right, so these were internal transfers on the 5th or on the 2nd of May. So that was over 2 months ago. And that was probably like $50 worth of DAG. And that was FTM, probably worth, maybe $70. And this is probably worth about $25. So if that's enough for me to prop up my balances, then great. Let's see what my withdrawal history is, just to see if I've taken anything out, which I obviously haven't. Past 3 months, literally nothing. Past 1 month, literally nothing. All right, so we can go to the overview. Let's go to the futures overview, and let's look at my P&L. And that is, I believe, right up here. Yep, asset, nope, futures, orders. All right, so the P&L. We've already got the P&L for the first 30 days. Let's do the first 7 days first. And let's scroll down and see how many times we took massive loss. Literally none. And there's the order that I was talking about that I made a bunch of money shorting that at 31,700 in my last video. Now let's look at the past 30 days. Now we know that I took at least one loss because we saw the little dip down on that 30-day chart. But let's scroll down and let's see how big that loss was as compared to my gains. Okay, $2,900 loss and then $2,900 gain, $4,100 gain. Okay, $1,600 gain. $1,000, $1,500, $1,300, $2,650, and then we obviously took a huge loss right here of $14.50 over the past 30 days. That's my trading history. So I just wanted to share that just in case people were going to sit here and try and say like, hey, you're lying. So there you go. And, again, we'll refresh it just one more time for you guys. That way no one can say really anything, and boom. And feel free to, slow it down, pause it, check the dates, check the times, check all the stuff. All good.
And there's no excuse for having negative 50% trades, negative 40% trades, etc., unless you're literally just like being incredibly risky, which you shouldn't be doing that if you're running a business about it. That should be like what you do with your personal funds, right? Not other people's funds. So that just shows poor risk management and taking on positions and entering trades with the wrong levels of conviction, okay? So from what I understand too, Travis's claim to fame is when he bought oil at the very bottom whenever the market was crashing, during COVID, and then he just held it for a very long period. Well, that's not being a trader. That is what we would call, in this market, a hodler, okay? So just because he bought some oil futures on a very clear indication that oil was in the negative, when our entire worldwide industry runs on oil, that does not make him a good trader. He just held it long term and it paid off. It's like if Bitcoin were to drop to $1,000 right now and then he put his life savings in it and held it for a year or two. Of course, he would look like a genius for buying Bitcoin at the bottom, but so would a lot of other people. But don't let that fool you, because that is just one trade that was held over a very long period of time and not all of these swing trades and day trades. That's a whole different animal and beast in and of itself. Now, it seems like they don't really even truly understand their own business model with all of the irons that they have in the fire, or they're just using these as ruses to kind of like keep people at bay and keep people looking for the future and keep people distracted. Just like the Romans did back in the day. When the villagers got restless, gladiator games, right? Like the things that I'm referring to on building a new blockchain. coming out with their own coin, coming out with their own token on BSC even before that, saying that they're going to build a casino that generates revenue even though there's already Rubit and Stake that have basically have a straight up stranglehold over the entire market, then telling you how they're going to get crypto debit cards and all these different ruses to keep you occupied so that you're not asking any questions about the true business model. So with that being said, if you're looking for businesses that have sustainable business models that actually understand what revenue generation is and have never been based on Ponzi-nomics or bad mathematics in economics, look no further than wolfcapitalfinance and PreSend. What does wolfcapitalfinance do? It's a master and validator noding company that literally hosts the blockchains that you've all heard about. AVAX, Avalanche, Ethereum, FTM, Flux, and we have a potential Bitcoin mining and other cryptocurrency mining arm coming in the near future. Why does that matter? Because we are bringing a crowdfunding offering, digital security token, might I add, approved by the SEC through Acamona that gives us the legal ability to distribute out profits in cryptocurrency, and you can house your securities in your cryptocurrency wallet. And what's the most bullish thing about Wolfer? Wolfer owns 10% of the revolutionary wallet transaction security software called PreSend.io. And PreSend stops cross-chain transaction losses dead in their tracks. Think about sending USDC from a Polygon wallet to an Ethereum wallet. You potentially just lost your money. Or if you send Binance coin to Coinbase, you definitely just lost your money because they are not compatible with each other. PreSend stops that from happening. It has a pending patent, and we are looking to license this out to the largest players in the game. The MetaMask, Trust Wallets, Ledgers, the Operas and Braves of the world, the Coinbases, KuCoins, Binances, Krakens, and Crypto.coms of the world. So if you're looking for something that actually has long-term potential, look no further than those two offerings that will be coming out in the coming weeks. Make sure you follow my channel, make sure you like this video, and make sure that you are paying attention for whenever those open, because we will announce them right here and on our Twitters when that Acamona.com offering comes out. And if you like content like this, obviously, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Boom! Bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing up to this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.